The late adopter. The late adopter. Again. The late adopter. Okay guys, let's go. The late adopter. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Bitcoin Daily. I'm sorry for, messing with you a little bit. It's the April 1st, we gotta have some fun. How's everybody doing? I didn't know what to put in the title, so I thought, something, to lighten up the day a little bit. It's okay, it's okay. It's all good, guys, it's all good. There is no unhosted wallet transaction fees. I mean, it's unhosted wallet. They don't know who it belongs. How are you then gonna, tax you 50%? But, but, yeah. How's everybody doing? Is it doing good? Are you scared of the dump, guys? Are you scared of the dump? It's going down. Yeah, we are definitely going down to 0. Good times, guys, good times. So So what are we gonna do today? Who is in the chat, by the way? Who got tricked up? The central player. What's up? Yarak, 3 months. T-Rain is back in the chat. Batch Guitar, and those are the guys. So Martin RGL, Mladen Petro, never, of course. Some guys did get tricked though. Just tuned in the middle of the work because of the title. Oh yeah, it's good. Well, that's what ship metaverse. YouTube might not like my title. I don't know, man. It's April the 1st. I think they'll understand. We're going to 50k this time, lol. Hey, TL, mate. What's up? What's up? Well, not much, you know, but, you know, transaction, you know, tax on every transaction. 50% on unhosted wallets. GG. What's up? What's up? Crypto Vulture. Okay, guys. So, today, we're not gonna do that much stuff. We're just gonna look at what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin has been falling down, having this pullback for, you know, 2 days. So the question is, will this pullback stop or not? You know, is it, you know, just gonna, you know, continue crashing through the resistance supports on the downside and go below, you know, a very important level down here where we'll drop down to some kind of 29,000, or will it just get some kind of, you know, support up here and continue going towards the upside? Now we did see that, you know, this is very bullish move towards the upside. We did see that everything is going according to the plan towards the upside. We have seen a huge bullishness up here above the resistance up here. So this pull back down, you know, to the resistance, right? Sorry, to the support right now, coming back down again. It's all good. It's all good. Moon phase confirmed. Nothing to see here. This dump was expected. Yeah, I don't know why people are, you know, surprised. Like, there's the moon. You know, there is the moon. I think we need to see this on the 4-hourly time frame. 1 hourly maybe. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. There you go. The full moon is in effect on the chart. On the chart right now, you can see you gotta go to 30 minutes because, you know, that's how it works. Right now we do have you know, the new moon, and we are having a pullback on the downside. I mean, if you're not trading by the moons by now, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You know, we've been saying this for a long time right now. The moons are the strongest indicator to, you know, check CME gap 90% filled. No, I'm not checking the CME gap, man. I'm not doing that, man. Gaps, we do not do gaps on this channel. I told you before, around 9,000, between 9,002 and 9,007, there is a CME gap down there that got tricked me into thinking that the bull run won't start. So I got late in, you know, with certain stuff because I was waiting it to get filled. It also got filled like 50%. You know, and then, you know, the bull run resumed. So, you know, we are not looking at CME gaps, but the moon phases, guys, the moon phases are legit. The moon phases are legit right now. And if you're not trading by the moon phase, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing with your life. I don't know what you're doing with your life. That said, we can start with the CME gap, so I can explain why I do not care about CME gaps again, because I see, you know, people are talking about CME gaps. So this CME gap up here did got filled. It's not 90% filled, it's 100% filled down here. You can see the CME gap right over here between these two lines, and it did got filled on the pullback towards the downside. Now the CME gaps, I really don't care about CME gaps. I really don't care about CME gaps because of this. I'm gonna show you again, because, you know, I have to show it every single time. Down here between let me just remove this midline up here for a second. This CME gap at 9,000, between 9,007 and 9,009 actually, you can see the CME gap over here. See, it never got filled. I mean, we came a little bit into the CME gap down to 9,008, so technically we did came into the CME gap with the wicks, 3 weeks on the downside, never got filled ever. Got filled, and you know that, and this is the time when, you know, back here when we were just talking about CME gaps all the freaking time. So I was believing in CME gaps big time back here, and this never got filled, right? And I was, you know, telling people on the stream and in the videos that, you know, we're gonna get filled, we're gonna get filled down here, we're gonna get filled, we're gonna get filled, man, we're gonna get filled, no problem. Never got filled, just, you know, start bouncing. I think up here I was like, okay, maybe we're not gonna get filled. That's what I said, like, okay, maybe we're not gonna get filled, you know. But down here I didn't think this was possible to do because of the damn CME gap. So this kind of stopped me, you know, got me late into the bull market around 13k or something like that. I don't know. And, you know, after this over here, after you get burned once, you never again believe in CME gaps. There's a CME gap right over here, guys. There is a CME gap right over here. Never got filled. This is between 26,000 and 26,000 and 24,000. So this CME gap didn't ever get filled. I mean, back here, you know, people, oh, it was gonna get filled. Nope. Oh, we're gonna get filled. Oh, nope. Oh, we're gonna get filled. Up. Never got filled. 24 to 26,000. Do some of these gaps get filled? Yeah, they do. Why? Because, you know, price moves up and down, so most of the time they will get filled, but sometimes they won't get filled, guys. Sometimes they won't get filled. Is there probability for this 24 to 26,000 to get filled? Yeah, probably. You know, we can right now crash on the downside, go down here to, you know, close that. That'd be nice. Is this, you know, gap at 9799 gonna get filled? Very low probability for that. Can it do that? Yeah, I mean, we can drop down here and, you know, get it filled, but you know, I'm gonna look at the CME gap and say we're gonna go down for, you know, like 3 years until you get filled. I don't think we're gonna do that. So this CME gap definitely got filled, but I really don't care about CME gaps, guys. I really don't care about CME gaps. I stopped, like I said, I stopped believing in the CME gaps long time ago, and I don't ever want to see the you know, talk about CME gaps again, because, you know, believing in CME something is gonna happen, you know, it's not a good thing. We can look at it and we can say it's gonna have pullback, but we already know the pullback is gonna come, not because of the CME gap, but because we hit resistance over extensions, you know, stuff like that, you know. That's why we are saying that we are gonna, you know, go have a pullback towards downside. You can see the 200 moving average right above us up here, hitting it for 3 days, not being able to go down, go further towards the upside. And, you know, the other moving averages we are a little bit extended from, you know, so, you know, the probability for a down move was quite a lot higher than, you know, continuation towards the upside. That said, guys, this triangle up here, I was looking at this yesterday, and this triangle is still playing out nicely. We broke out of the triangle. I'm still definitely seeing that people are talking about ascending triangle up here, ascending triangle. And you can see here, if you remove this line up here, this is some kind of, you know, big ass ascending triangle going up here. We're still getting, you know, some kind of support down there on the ascending triangle up here. And will we just go, you know, get support up here and continue towards the upside? I don't think so. I don't think this is legit ascending triangle, because we shouldn't have never, you know, broken out of the ascending triangle, you know, halfway through. Oftentimes you break, you know, towards the end of the ascending triangle, and the fact that you are breaking up here, it just tells me another one of these, you know, reasons why this is not ascending triangle. This is, you know, actually like this is actually a triangle, and triangle did play out a lot better than ascending triangle, because this triangle over here, the symmetrical triangle, did break in this space, you know, where it usually breaks out of, right? So we went kind of sideways, we broke out here, and it looks nice. So this pullback down here, what's happening right now on the pullback, we can start with the 4-hourly time frame. So I'm going to show you on the 4-hourly time frame that on a 4-hour time frame we already broke the trend up here at the top. That's why we had this, you know, big dump. It's not a big dump, but, you know, it's a dump. So the trend went something like this down here, give or take. You can see the trend line over here. Trend line. So this is the, you know, 4-hourly trend line when we start, you know, going towards the upside up here. All right, this 4-hourly trend line, we went up, went sideways, broke the trend line, right back down again, right? Let me just see down here if there is a line over here. Should be something like this. Yeah, this is getting broken as well, even on the 4-hourly time frame. So this 4-hourly time frame did broke, but right now, you know, I was hoping that maybe the, you know, daily time frame, daily trend line up here won't break towards downside. Now this broke also right now, because we can see on the downside, so technically we are below the trend line right now. That means that, you know, if we fail to, you know, get right back down here, we are probably going to consolidate below the trend line up here, hopefully get some kind of support or some kind of moving averages, some kind of support lines, and then, you know, continue towards the upside. That said, let's pop the moving average and see what's happening on the chart up here. You can see here that we are below the 10 moving average down here. This is the white line that goes exactly with the trend line up here towards upside. We came right up there. We came right up there to the 10 moving average, and then we broke on the downside. So right now I'm looking at this 20 moving average to give us support, which I explained, you know, yesterday, that, you know, 20 moving average, the red line, is actually pretty decent indicator for these pullbacks when we are trying to climb towards the upside. This over here went pretty fast towards the upside, but it did pull back to the 20 moving average eventually, but that was all the way at the top. And down here, you know, big move happens on the 10 moving average. You can see here moving on the 10 moving average towards the upside, but the pullback comes to the 20 moving average. This pullback came to the 50 moving average and then was climbing up the zigzag towards the upside. But you know, 20 moving average is important. Is important, you know, moving average, and especially on the daily time frame. So you can see here that we are going back down to that moving average. Let me just see on the 4 hourly. Yeah, the 4 hourly was the 50 moving average on the 4 hourly was important, but we broke that. So right now we are going maybe towards 100 moving average, maybe down here to 200 moving average. We're gonna see, but I think we got a little bit more room to go on the downside left, you know, to see what's gonna happen eventually. Also, this 50 moving average down here might act as a support, very nice support. So I'm looking at either 20 moving average or down here at 50 moving average. But this is the, you know, kind of less support if we go down. I'm assuming we're gonna break this level of resistance over here at 44.5, 45,000 on the downside and get everybody bearish, because most of people are not seeing this symmetrical triangle. Now, once we do that, I think down here might be some kind of, you know, accumulation zone, some kind of, you know, weeding out of the, you know, long position, and then, you know, get some kind of bounce up here towards the upside and continue, you know, the move towards the upside. So I don't know, right now, you know, 20 moving average is important, 50 moving average is important, this trend line is important. Breaking of the trend line up here, I'm assuming it, you know, it can just go sideways up here, holding this support up here, waiting for this moving average, and then, you know, continue toward the upside. That's perfectly possible. How this is gonna play out is a little bit tricky, but assuming it's a new moon, assuming that we are, you know, broken the trend line, I'm assuming that there is more probability right now towards downside than it is actually towards the upside. So right now, although we have, you know, broken this trend towards downside, I think the probability right now for this pullback is to pull back a little bit more before we actually continue, you know, the bull run towards upside again. Because on the weekly time frame, we did in fact break this downtrend towards downside. There was this downtrend over here. I don't know how you can draw it. Maybe something like this. Maybe somewhere up here. Maybe over here. Let's do it like this. You know, doesn't matter how you draw it. The weekly downtrend is broken towards the upside. We are above 20 and the 50 moving average on the weekly time frame. So I'm gonna show you also one more thing that's very, very bullish, because everybody right now is focusing on the CME gap, and I just told, like, CME gaps are not important, but CME chart is important. So look on CME chart, guys. What do you see on the CME charts up here, guys? What do you see on the CME charts? Market is open right now. We are still you know, back testing just this 20 moving average down here, 20 moving average down here on the CME chart. And if today is the close of the CME chart, it closed on Friday around 11, so it's got like 6 hours left to go. Weekly, 13 hours left for this close, 13 hours left for this close over here right now. So in 13 hours, this close, we close. If we close back below the moving average down here, it might be a little bit bad sign. It might be a little bit bad sign going back below the moving averages. But if we, for whatever reason, just, you know, manage to, you know, go a little bit back up again, these moving averages, or even close above the 20 moving average on the CME chart up here, that will be a bullish signal up here, because we are actually breaking. Because right now we had, you know, this jump up here, you know, and just continue towards the upside. Sorry, jump up here and continue towards the upside. Right now we're pulling back a little bit up here. So CME gaps, you know, will be important. Close and towards the, not CME gap, sorry, CME chart will be important to watch once this in 13 hours closes this, because it's not, this isn't open during the weekends. So when this closes in 13 hours, it might be interesting to see whether we close above the 50 moving average, 20 moving average, or below all of the moving averages down here, right? Like we said, Bitcoin, I assume Bitcoin might pull back a little bit more. It is probable, but it is also probable that it's just gonna hold this level of you know, support down here, give or take. Level of support down here, and like you see here right now, holding it. Maybe it's gonna hold up here, maybe it's gonna go towards the upside. There is also probability. So right now it's very shaky times, because you're not quite sure which direction it's gonna go. We are bullish. We broken certain resistances. We have seen, you know, nice move towards upside. a lot of these MACD crosses are about to happen. A lot of these MACD crosses on the daily time, on the weekly time frame, are about to happen. So if we pull back big time towards the downside, maybe these MACD crosses won't happen. Maybe we'll just turn on the downside. Maybe everything is gonna go, you know, to shitters right back down again. We also see that, you know, a lot of these let's go to the weekly time frame. So you can see here MACD cross is kicking in right over here right now. But if this candle continues going right back down here, there will be no MACD cross. Over here, there will be no MACD cross. It will just come very close and just continue down. So if we could just continue going down from over here, there will be no MACD cross on the chart over here. But right now we are getting it, but we need to close this week at least above up here somewhere, right, to get this MACD cross confirmed. That said, the chart down here, the RSI, is sitting at some kind of 50 levels, so it is, you know, in no man's land right now. It can't actually go both ways. So the RSI can go in both ways. This can still turn ugly towards the downside if we, for whatever reason, are getting any kind of dump or whatever. But if we manage to, you know, do 2 more days with if you manage to do 2 more days with some kind of sideways move, or, you know, not that big of a dump, I'm seeing that, you know, next week is gonna be very bullish. I'm seeing next week is gonna be very bullish. So I'm looking for this this pullback up here to last at least for over the weekends. Some kind of consolidation phase on the bottom down here. We'll see how this actually plays out. Whether that is gonna be here or down here at 200 moving average, where this consolidation is gonna happen, where this, you know, pullback is gonna happen eventually, that needs to be seen. But I'm expecting, you know, at least 2 days to, you know, see some some kind of confirmations on some charts. It's not overly bullish, it's not overly not bearish or anything. It is in a no man's land, so there is a lot of speculation going on in a lot of channels. Unfortunately, that's the kind of stuff you have right now, and this is really hard to trade. So, you know, right now I wouldn't advise anybody to trade this right now. The only thing you can do right now is going long, because right now it is hitting some very important support levels. So these support levels might be some kind of long options to go long. Either that's going to be moving averages, some kind of trend lines that you know, we are hitting as support. That might be long options, but as soon as we start breaking those support levels, that's you know, you gotta exit the trade, because it is kind of funny move. It is kind of funny move. Everything is sitting in the middle of the ballpark area. So, you know, the best kind of trades are, you know, when you have some kind of overextensions. If you have some kind of big moves, you're hitting some kind of resistance after a big move. If indicators are, you know, too high, then you can assume that, you know, probability towards downside might, you know, be good. And the same thing goes towards downside. When you are some kind of overextensions, had a big dump, you had have indicators that are oversold, you know, hitting some kind of nice supports, that might be, you know, probability for a long, you know, it goes, you know, pretty high towards upside. But right now everything seems like, yeah, we hit the resistance, you know, and up here might have been, you know, nice short, but right now there is no short option. I mean, right now we are just wondering, we are still not getting any kind of indication of where the support is. I mean, we broke the 50 moving average here. We are hitting this, you know, support line down here, and we are bouncing a little bit off that, but, you know, we still haven't confirmed anything over here. So it is a little bit tricky. So I'm thinking, you know, over the weekend, you know, this will settle down. We'll probably get indication on where this is going eventually, right? So right now I'm in the no man's land right now, and just, you know, waiting to see how this pullback is going to be played out. The triangle, the way I see it, the triangle is the most important thing over here right now. The fact that we broke out up here, creating these higher highs towards the upside, everything looks bullish, guys. Everything looks bullish. We broke the weekly trend towards the upside. We are you know, going above the 50 moving average up here. Maybe it's gonna, you know, do something like this and continue towards the downside. Maybe this isn't the bull market that everybody's hoping for, unfortunately. Maybe it's I mean, oftentimes you go above moving averages, get everybody FOMO'd in, and then, you know, crash on the downside. But it's not happening today. It's not happening this weekend. It's gonna take a little bit while until we confirm this, you know, fake out is a fake out. You know, it's not, you know, very obvious right now what's gonna happen. You can see down here, I think over here, or here we had one of these moves down here. You can see here we created this double bottom down here. We went up above the moving averages, you know, came up here, consolidated, and then went down below the support again. So this you know, this double bottom did play out, you know, to certain levels and then right back down again, right? So this can happen definitely right now on the chart. If you see the chart right now, we are having this, you know, double bottom down here that's actually playing out. We're having this move towards the upside above the moving averages. Maybe we're gonna consolidate down here and then move on the downside. It is probability. It did happen before, so you know, the play is definitely there. Will this actually happen or not? Who knows, guys? Who knows? But you know, eventually, once, if we start going towards the upside right now, if we start going towards the upside and then start going zigzag and sideways up here, you know, consolidating for a long time or whatever, if we see that, you know, failure to, you know, break towards the upside every time, you know, happens, probability that is gonna have a pullback is big. And once you have this pullback on the downside again, that's kind of game over, because you know, you don't want to do that for you know, another time. Right now we are not actually getting support on the 50 moving average and then bouncing off 20 and down. We did get support on the 200 on the 100 moving average on the weekly time frame, and right now bouncing off of that towards the upside above the moving averages 50, 20, and so forth, so forth. So it does look a little bit different when you look compared with the moving averages you know, previously. Can it happen on the downside? Definitely can, but will it happen? You know, we don't know. Like we said, right now, you know, it's just a wait and see game to see how this is gonna play out. And you know, if we for whatever reason get this, you know, nice pullback towards the upside here, back above the 10 moving average, maybe this was the bottom already, right? Because we hit support, the trend line is, you know, might be holding and stuff like that, and you know, we might just go up from here. So there is that, right? The markets, how did the markets are still not closed. Are the markets open right now? Market is open, Dow Jones mini. So right now, let's see how this is going on daily. We had a pullback yesterday. So in 13 hours, the weekly close is going to close on Dow Jones. And you can see on Dow Jones, we are below the 20 and the 50 moving average. So the markets are not, you know, it had a nice pump towards the upside, but hitting this very important resistance up here. And it's also creating a lower low if it fails to get above the moving averages up here today. S&P 500 still above this 20 moving average up here on the weekly time frame, which is doing quite nice. So we want to see how this is actually going to close. Is going to close down here below the support or not. Still 13 hours left, but markets are, you know, also in, you know, went up to certain resistances. The question is, will they return towards downside? I just want to show you one more thing. Oil is going back down again. You can see here on the weekly time frame, we pumped up here. You know, I said, you know, people are talking about 150, 300 bucks for, you know, oil and stuff like that. I said, like, they want to hurt the Russian economy, and the way you do it is with oil and gas, and this needs to pull back. So this pullback, you know, this tried to run up again, and it's right now pulling back down again. So I'm not very confident, but I still believe that the move for oil, for example, is to go back down again below this 100 bucks at least, and see how this actually performs. Gold, let's see gold weekly time frame. Gold's actually doing quite okay up here. It went up, right now consolidating up here. The question is, if it starts breaking the moving average on the downside, it's going to be a little bit bad. Just see up here, a little bit bad, right? If it starts breaking the moving average on the downside, but it still got this very nice trend line that it broke out of. So, you know, it was kind of expected for a long time that this is going to break out here. So this move on gold is not affected by you know, Russia-Ukraine war. This move, gold is, you know, been in the making since what's that, you know, August 2020 up here. We started March up here, went up here, you know, and right now continued making this very nice triangle that broke out to the upside. So I don't think this is actually, you know, affected by gold. The oil is affected by the war, because, you know, the war you know, got oil to pump towards the upside. But I don't think the gold is affected by oil. So I think gold will continue towards the upside, while oil, I think, should go on the downside, because it's very easily, you know, oil is very easily manipulated, Same thing goes for silver. I think if gold goes towards the upside, silver should follow. I don't know how big correlation between these two are, but you know, there's that. Let's go back to the charts a little bit up here. Ethereum right now sitting at, let's see Ethereum. Maybe Ethereum can tell us the tale of what's going to happen next. So you can see that Ethereum on this pump up here came up above the this double bottom down here. So it is showing, you know, some kind of bullish move. But this 20 moving average up here on on the weekly time frame, it did not get crossed. So we came up below it, but we are still above the 50 moving average, but not above all of the moving averages. Let's look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame, same as Bitcoin, hitting this 200 moving average, getting this small pullback on the downside. Is this actually breaking the trend over here? Yeah, it is breaking this slow moving trend towards the upside. Hit the resistance, pulled back down. How much this pullback gonna go? It kind of depends, it has, I think it has the same kind of, no, it's not like this. It's, the triangle up here is a little bit different. I think it should go someplace down here, because, it had these breakout retest down here. Yeah, it had a retest and pumped up above everything up here. So right now it's pulling a little bit back. Yeah, it's in no man's land. Even it's in no man's land. We need to see how much pullback he's gonna have. We need to see where support. On the 4 hour, it is getting this, this 50 moving average support, but nothing out of the ordinary. We need to see how it reacts to the 10-20 moving average to see if it's actually gonna break towards the upside. So that's what I got for you guys. A little bit Ethereum, a little bit Bitcoin, a little bit of markets. Mix that up. You got a nice morning breakfast. Anyways, guys, what are I saying in the chat? Quick peek at AVAX, any chance? Quick peek at AVAX. I don't know where AVAX is. There's it. Minus 2.4. Let's see the weekly on AVAX up here, how it's actually performing. It is above all moving averages, which is quite nice. So on the weekly time frame, hopefully it will hold this support down here at 89 bucks. So you're gonna see that. This is the weekly time frame, of course. On the daily time frame, still above all the moving averages. It has this nice pullback on the daily, but it is not breaking the trend. You can see down here the trend on the AVAX. It's not breaking the trend, so it is still technically in an uptrend, and this pullback is just a small pullback so far, right? Came all the way down back to the 10 moving average. So technically it is an uptrend. Yeah, still it is an uptrend. Do we see anything that might be worrisome up here on the daily? There is no divergence up here. It is going up maybe a little bit. The thing that might be a little bit worrying maybe is that the momentum, the price is going up, but the momentum is going a little bit down. It doesn't have to mean much, but if Bitcoin decides to change direction towards upside, this will correct itself and it will just pump towards upside. It's also above the moving it's also above these tops up here. You can see here right now pulling back a little bit on the downside. Maybe this is a failure to break the tops up here. It could be looked like a failure. I mean, sometimes you come pretty high and then try to break up here and then you fail. So going back down again somewhere down here, it wouldn't be that nice. There is probably some kind of trend line up here going something like this. Something like this. It looks okay so far. We just have to hope that Bitcoin is gonna perform well on the way. Again, this is just gonna be a small pullback, and then everything is gonna be fine. I was also temporarily mad about S-Dog coins. Temporary. You got me with the title, man. That's good, man. That's good. That's good. If you got, if you like the title and the thumbnail, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Computer simulation revealed that the moon formed regularly roughly 4,425 billion years ago. She's an old boy. She knows how to tide moves much longer than you do. But by the way, guys, I read something. The tide does not move, guys. This is the moon. This is the moon, and this is the Earth, right? This is the Earth, right? I don't know. So this is the Earth and this is the moon, and then you have body of water around the Earth, right? So let's say this is water. This is water around Earth, the ocean and stuff like that. So people think that when the moon goes around, that the water gets pulled a little bit towards the moon. On this side, it gets pulled towards the moon, and that's why you get the tide. And that's not the case, guys. That's not the case. That's not the case. The thing is, I'm talking out of my butt here because I saw a little bit of clip of that. I think that I think that the moon is always pulling the water like this, and the Earth rotating inside this over here makes the, you know, tide go be up and down. Forget about I tried to talk about this. Forget everything. I did not know that. Oh, I love when there's diagrams. Hey Tia, good morning, man. Good morning. What's up? My God, I live for your amazing illustration art in the videos. Hey Tia, what do you think of the decision of Putin to only accept ruble, gold, and BTC for gas? Do you think BTC will be used for this? I think they already settled that they will still be continuing taking the euros. But yeah, you know, I don't believe that you know, Europe will, you know, accept paying in ruble. So thanks, man. I'm out. Go fool the world. At least tell somebody that this coin will go to zero in the next 10 seconds. Guys, Bitcoin is going to zero. Tiela Astrophysics. Yeah, we are not doing the moons and the chart and the planets, but you know, there is something about it. You know, the tide does not move; the Earth moves inside the tide, or something like that, right? At least from what I remember. Okay, guys, I don't have anything more for you guys. Bitcoin is a no man's land. If something happens, something big happens, guys. If something big happens, go to Twitter, guys. Go to Twitter. And you know, follow me on Twitter, because I might, you know, if something big happens, I might post on Twitter. So you know, you want to get to that. TLM Fudmaster. So join Twitter, guys. Join Twitter. If something big happens, you will know about it. But you know, right now, it just kind of, we need some kind of more confirmation for something to happen right now. And that's it. Also, Zilka is pumping like crazy again. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where the top on Zilka is. It's hitting my resistance is up here. 2, 3. It is extending like crazy. Up here at the top. How long this is gonna continue? I don't know, man. I don't know. There have been 1, 2, 3 divergence up here already, you know, but I don't know. I don't know about Zilka, guys. I don't know about Zilka. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.